All right. Hello and welcome to Temtalk, a podcast about the creature collection MMO Temtem. I'm your host this week, Presby Kennedy, joined as always by Gaijin Boo, and we have a special guest with us. Tsubaki Chan is in the house. For those of you listening who are unfamiliar with Tsubaki Chan, Tsubaki is one of the biggest names in the competitive scene of Temtem. Really helped define the meta and bring that stupid flying plant Saku onto everybody's team, and has been uh, I think has won more tournaments, like big tournaments, than anybody else. I haven't like looked at the other people, but I think maybe Marnie Farmer might be the only person competing with you in win numbers. Also, the number one TMR ranked player for quite some time on ladder, joining us, one of the best PvPers in the game. Tsubaki Chan, how you doing?
Hello, hello. Thanks for the introduction. Doing fine. Happy to be there.
All right, and Gaijin, how are you doing?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, all that nice stuff about PvP and tournaments, it wasn't about me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Two-time Temtem World Cup winner, uh, Dojo rebattler, more times than anybody else in the world. It's Gaijin Boo.
I think my
Uh,
internet's dying or something.
yeah, that might have been me. I got a little bit scared. I was just like I saw.
No, even my Twitch view is buffering like
Me
crazy.
too.
Okay, maybe it's
Okay.
not me. I don't know. Anyway,
I've dropped 240 frames, but hopefully that's
oh, okay.
yeah,
Well, it
hopefully
just
that
couldn't
doesn't
handle
stay.
the scream.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I'm doing. You asked me how I was doing, right? God, I can't even
Yes.
remember. It was so long ago at this point. I'm doing well. Just had work today, and I got some food, and I have coffee, and I've got my trusty sleepy co-host. We're good.
Yes. So before we jump into the rest of the episode, we're changing up the flow of Tim Talk, and our special topic today is what? Temtem is evolving? Quick, somebody press Z. I'm kidding, but yes, our topic today is about the future of Tim Talk. So things are going to be a little bit different than you normally are used to, and the flow of the show is going to go a little bit differently. And yeah, we'll get more into that later. But for now, let's talk about what we've been up to in the game this week, and I guess like last week, because we didn't even have an episode last week. As always, we try and give the floor to the guests first, before, out of politeness. So, Subaki, anything interesting you've been doing in game this past week?
I'm not gonna talk about fishing. Yeah, I mean, like always, the dojos, the raiders, because I think it's still a really actually a good thing for this patch. And otherwise, mostly PvP, just testing teams, trying to elaborate new things for, of course, the club wars, tournaments, and etc. So yeah, basically that rounds up what I'm doing on Temtem at the moment, because I'm splitting my time with Genshin.
Yeah, I also saw you competing in some tournaments this past weekend that we'll talk about in the show. You were in Plus OP's Nindrasil Cup. Were you? Did somebody ask you to be on their team, or did you form that team? I think your team name was Subaki and the Dwarfs.
Tsubaki and seven, but like Bart, two dwarfs. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to do that game with two of my earliest mates in the game that followed me like through the game, Kanzaki and Bennett, because Dave Goblin was in a break as he was part of the group too. And yeah, I just wanted to make a team with them and have fun with them. And they actually say they name team. I didn't.
Yeah, that's what was making me laugh because I was like, Tsubaki's so nice and polite. I don't feel like he'd name his team that. But yeah, it did make me chuckle. Gaijin, how about you? What have you been up to this week?
I was playing Temtem. I did some fishing. Played some Genshin.
Did you get your five out
Uh,
of five?
hell no, but I got a lima. I got a lima
Oh,
koi, so I
nice.
guess I guess that counts, right?
The melee
The
one?
old no, the crystal one.
Oh my gosh, nice.
Yeah, but I gave it to blank
Oh,
because Sleepy Blank has been giving me like buttloads of perfect koish, and they're all named after blank, and they're amazing.
Ooh, how many perfect koish do you have?
Like,
So
it's
far,
amazing.
like 6 or 7. I don't know,
I was I,
something.
I was in a weird koish trading black market circle last
Oh,
week. I didn't know I got myself I got my hands on a normal koish egg. It was the water normal type, and I didn't
mhm.
really want it. It was just a really good deal, and I was like, okay, I'll just buy it and I'll sell it for 5K more pansuns than I got or than I purchased it for, and make a quick turnover on this. And I tried selling it to somebody, and they were just like, I don't want that koish, but I'll trade you this koish egg for this koish egg. And I was like, oh, I don't really want that koish. And then I talked to somebody else, and they're like, oh, I'll trade you this koish egg for that koish egg, but I don't
Oh
want that
my
koish
god.
either. And I was
That's
like,
not really how a black market works. That's just,
well,
it
fair.
sounds like, what's it called? Oh God, what's that? It's like Yankee Swap
Oh
with
yeah, yeah,
Koishan.
that's it. But anyways, by the end of all of it, I traded up my Koish egg for a Fire Koish with Synergy Master, and I think Fire Koish with Synergy Master is worth like 40K. And I paid about like I think 32K for my normal egg. So it's like it's a nice little up trade. And I named my Fire Koish Zuko. And
Zuko.
yeah, he wins me honor in matches so far. I just finished TV training him this week, which made me really happy. But yeah, there's just so many good koishes, and I don't think anyone has it like ironed out yet on like what the best koish is, because it's like from
How
the top.
dare you doubt Tsubaki? You don't think he's theory
Well,
crafted the crap out of this? You don't think he knows?
we have I'm in Enigma too, and we have a whole channel dedicated to Koish. Like there's a Koish channel on Enigma, or at least there was last week. I haven't checked it. Oh, it's still there. Yeah, and I don't know, Sabaki, you can speak on this if you want to too, but I feel like at first glance, Fire Koish is the best Koish. But then you think about neutral Koish, and it's got like harmful lick is 150 damage. It's got the neutral typing for stab with harmful lick, and it's got like one of the highest physical attacks in the game. Like I think Koisha's base physical attacks 85 or 83, which is higher than Raiken's base attack. And when you think of Raiken, you think of physically offensive. And so it's like it's a really hard hitting like move, harmful lick, and it's like that's a good Koish. And then you think about nature Koish, and it Synergy Master, Water Cutting Lily, 144, that 25 additional percent, and stab from the nature typing. That's a hard hitting Koish. And that's a good Koish. And I don't
That's
know,
the
they just
first
Harmful.
all.
coach I tried.
Go ahead,
I,
Sabaki.
yeah, I mean that's the first coach I tried on stream too, because I love the idea. I love nature. I love salads. So I think it's really interesting. It's definitely a strong choice, but it's cheesy. That's the problem.
It is so
Uh,
cheesy.
if you face people for the ladder, I think it's an amazing combo. The VCL fish, because not so many people runs a lot of toxic, so you just ban it, and then they force it to ban one of those two VCL users. Otherwise, they just lose turn one. It's just you make a kill. Actually, theory crafted. It's like if there's no toxic temps, you kill 90% of all the Temtems in the game actually with double VCL, except if they're like built for purely tank mode. So it's really a hard hitter, but it's cheesy. If I mean the best coach, in my opinion, would be still fire and electric, because they are just way more polyvalent. But definitely some mentions for the neutral one, especially in iridescence, because it could be a hard hitter that is not weak to mental. The toxic one and the mental one are like, yeah, special mentions, because they definitely have options too. But again, it's a bit more cheesy than the fire and the electric. The electric one is just amazing because he counters every fish. I mean, he gets hit too from the toxic one, but he can deal with all of them. And the fire, well, yeah, but you built a whole team around the fire coach. That's the only little problem. But he's amazingly strong and dumb.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that the electric Koish always can deal active damage into any type of Koish. Uh, and even on top of that, like, man, that just puts in my mind like doppelganger Koish. Like, I don't know who's struggling to kill Koishes because it doesn't seem like the bulkiest of Tims. But yeah, always interest. So many interesting builds for Koish. That said, did you want to say something, Tsubaki?
No, I was just, yeah, definitely. I think we didn't, I mean, I at least didn't see everything at the moment because I wasn't able to try just every trait from it. I think Iridescence is such an amazing trait, actually. And it's the only problem I have with Iridescence, it's adding some RNG into the game. Because Temtem made it like you in big and ban phase, you don't know which trait it is. Of course, if it's fire, you know it's Energy Master, but there are some of the cautious you can't know it. So like you already don't know what answers you're gonna bring because it could be Iridescence, and even on the field then turn one, you still don't know it. You have to hit it. I think that's a bit much. I think they should like show it when it comes on the field. You already have the upper hand on the pick and ban phase, but shouldn't have it two times in a row. Like
You could say there's already RNG just off of other traits though too, right? Because there's other Temtem that have traits that, both are usable in comp and you're not sure which one it would be, or is it much more RNG with this?
it's much more unbalanced because it changes the whole weakness of the Tem. I mean, Valorant,
Okay.
for example, okay, you can know aerobic, anaerobic, you still know physical will always hit him. With the Koish, you can't know. That's the problem.
With I don't know. I feel like there is. I can agree with that sentiment, but I feel like we still need like a week or two just to adjust to team building with it. Because I know for me with Voloran, like when I see Volarans on in pick and ban phase, like it is a heavy decision making process of just like, okay, if it's aerobic and it goes through, I can deal with aerobic. But if it's anaerobic, I instantly lose the game here, which means I have to ban this out on just that possibility that it is anaerobic. But after playing for so long, and I did this, I couldn't have put it into words. People ask me things on the Academy streams, and I can never like just outright describe them, but I can show them to people. And I did this on a instinctual level, and after doing it and watching back through it, I was like, oh, I can explain what happened there. I was doing a mock pick and ban phase against RJ Sosceles, and I looked at his team. Or RG Isosceles, and I looked at his team, and he had a Volorant, and I was like, I instantly lose to anaerobic Volorant, and there's this other thing that I really need to ban, and I talked through my decision making process, and looking at his team, I was like, oh look, based on his team, that's probably anaerobic Volorant because that fits really well here. And I think once we get a little bit more knowledge about just the different effective ways to build Koish, I think we can come back to this discussion in 2 weeks and you guys can say, Kennedy, you were so wrong. But I think we'll be able to do that a little bit with Koish of just like, this whole team has a super glaring weakness to this one type. That's probably an iridescent Koish. And then, just having like that knowledge of how the team looks, that maybe in the future we'll be able to like tell a little bit. But yeah, I can agree with you. It would be super cool if it was like Decidora or Settling that, start of the turn pops up and then. Well, I don't think Settling does. I think Decidora is the only one that does that. Oh, and
Can we just go back to this right now and tell Kennedy he's wrong already?
I mean, the electric one is a good option in my opinion. If you talk about the range of the Koish, because at the moment Synergy Master is not that much useful for his move. At least it could always be for the partner. But Iridescence has some nice options too for the electric one. So you can never know. Of course, when Sipanku will hit and Electric Punch will be able to be used with Synergy, it would be a different matter. But at the moment, I think Iridescence is a good trap for that one. And for what you said about Valorant, I made something for that. It's just when I build a team of my main teams for tournaments, it's a team that always ban Valorant. So I have no problem. Like you said, you can sometimes, of course, know if it's anaerobic or aerobic, especially if you play another stall team, you know it's anaerobic. But still, just ban it.
Yeah. Nothing is powerful enough to escape the balance of the ban button. One last thing I wanted to mention before we move on. There was a lot of misinformation spread through the community, and I think I might have been the first person in the game to level up a digital Koish and use auto destruction, which is a move it gets. People were saying auto destruction deals damage, heavy digital damage to one Tim, and even the wiki was like saying that too. And I was like, oh, cool. Auto destruction. This is information for everybody because I was the person who went and updated the wiki. Auto destruction deals damage to every Tim on the field, 125 digital damage, and then it kills your Tim. So when you go into a match with a digital Koish, please know when you auto destruct, your Tim will die at the end of the round. So
I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? It's called auto destruct. It's like self
no,
destruct, but
it really makes sense. I agree with you. Like I was just like, oh man, I was just thinking, I was like, it's super cool. We have a 3-hole digital move that deals a big amount of damage to a single target. Weird flex, but okay. And I just used it while
weird
leveling
flex,
Tim's, and I was
but
just
okay. I mean, have you never watched a spy movie? This message will self-destruct in X minutes or X seconds.
yeah.
I mean, destruct usually means destruction.
Isn't it
Pretty
even
sure.
destructing your partner, Temtem? It's like
Yep. Every Tim on the field, both enemy Tims and your Tim. So
such a nice move.
yeah, I mean, it's basically our version of explosion, I guess, which is interesting. I don't know it's interesting because I think it's the highest damaging move that hits every Tim because most moves that hit all Tims deal like 80 to 90 damage, whereas auto destruct is 125 on every single Tim. But I kind of feel like it should be more. I kind of feel like it should be like 150 on every Tim. But I guess that might just be my personal preference.
Yes.
Maybe with a bigger pick that is invested in speed, bamboozle, and you're good to go.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
I also just gave away my friendship pick a pack. Friendship pick a pack in any Doom comp. That's basically anything that ignores, the moves of your ally.
Sure, you can even wait. It doesn't work if you bamboozle your coach, but yeah, just bring the normal bigger pick actually, because you can't bamboozle him.
Yeah. And then what's there's another move. Oh, Team Elusive Volphy. Yeah. In chat right now saying friendship pig is the best. Ooh, let's not tell them. Nobody tell them. Let's just move on. All right, how about we tackle the news?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Let's give it a whirl.
Was there anything anybody else wanted to say about this past week before we jump into the news?
No, not that I have anyway.
Except that's really sadly the finals of the Club Wars were again postponed. No.
Oh yeah, well that's in our notes. The community events and tournaments. I agree. Super sad. Not only were they postponed, this was the second time they were postponed. I just want to see my friends fight. All right. I'm gonna go to our news segment right here. So, as always, we start with the weekly reset. This week's free Tim rewards of 60 releases for 60 releases gives you 12 smoke bombs, 125 releases gives you 2 growth enhancers, 250 releases gives you 4 wish you well coins, and 450 releases gives you a deep dreaming double bed, which I think that's the only way to get that. I don't know if that's in stores or not. But yeah,
Ooh, so we get to cuddle up together in that deep dreaming double bed? Sign me up.
Somebody in chat just said that you can buy it for 9,000 8,000 Pansuns.
Oh, geez, what a ripoff! 450
For,
for a 9,000 Pansun bed. Get out of here, Kremlin.
what a trade.
Get out of here.
Where's our hacks?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's not a bad free Tim for the first 3 rewards. Like 12 smoke bombs for 60 releases is nice, and then 4 wish you well coins for 250. But yeah, 450 for a bed. I didn't complete my free Tim last week, unfortunately, and I'm probably not gonna complete this week's free Tim either.
Oh man.
I mean, I never did it since the start of the game, so.
Yeah, but you don't need to when all you do is win, win, win.
Ah.
Yeah. Win
Good luck
tournaments,
for-
get Pansuns, pay for perfect Tims. Why
Tournaments,
hack 'em?
tournaments are your free Tim.
Gaijin, do you want to read the side part? I've got it
Yeah.
up from the screen.
Wow. Let me see here. I'll just pull it up on my own screen here. The side park. So, oh gosh. Wait a minute. Why is that one linked in? Why? Wait. What? Why is it Temtem France?
There's 2. The second image is in English.
Wow.
By the way, for what we're seeing on screen, credit to play Temtem or for temtemfrance.com. They've been making these helpful graphics for everybody since Krima stopped posting the weekly reset on the Discord.
It's interesting because they did post a picture to their Instagram account.
Ooh,
So
I don't have Instagram.
They
Interesting.
have an they have a thing made. So I'm not sure why it's not there, but yeah. So anyway, for Side Park this week, it is an SV week. You're looking at both Pookie and Toxalotl. For Pookie, it's a 90% spawn rate. Obviously, it's a 1x Luma rate. There is a minimum SV of 25 and an egg technique of 10% on Pookie. For Toxalotl, 100% spawn, which there should be because it's 100% in the wild. Minimum SV of 28 and egg tech of 10%. So go get your narcoleptic.
Yeah, let's all go for it.
Yeah. Oh, what do you guys think about this this Side Park week?
I mean, what Side Park? I mean, I've got radars at this point, so.
No, I'm actually using Side Park this week. I haven't been here since the economy patch hit, but this Side Park week, Toxalotl's spawn out in Tukma is in such an annoying spot to go and run to, and Toxalotls give 2 special attack every time you kill them. So I am actually TV training at
Hold the phone.
this week.
Let's nobody listen to Kennedy because it takes longer to run from Arisola to Side Park than it does to go from Quetzal
hold
to
on.
the Toxalotl spawn point. Nobody listen to Kennedy.
Let me take and defend myself here.
No, you're wrong.
Well, no, I feel I am right. The only TVs that are worth training and not fruiting are special attack, HP, and attack. So the other spot for TV training is Saipat, which is on the southern tip of Dennis. So when I go to TV train at HP, or rather what I'm doing is I'm doing everybody who needs special attack at Sci Park, and then as soon as I'm done at Sci Park, I'm running straight down to the Saipat farm, which is just a short jog away from Sci Park, and then I get both of these done without having to hop, between islands or anything. I get everything done in this nice little area, and I don't have to go to the Whip Lump spot, which is only like an 80% spawn on Whip Lump, or 85% spawn. And you have to end up running away from something. So I get 100% special attack here, and then I get 100% HP, and then I don't have to buy fruits for, HP or that, but I buy fruits for all the other ones.
I mean, you should never buy fruits for either of those just because they are so easy to train. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going straight from special attack to HP, then yes, this week is a good time to go farm.
Yeah, and then
But let's
once
not pretend that the spot in Tukma is that difficult to
no,
get
no,
to.
no,
'Cause-
it's not. It's not. It's not terrible, but it I don't know. For me it's just like, okay, I got to run all the way up here, and then it's like if I want a temporium, all the temporiums are like in a triangular area around the map from that spot where it's just like one's way down by the rock hopping, one's way down by the scientists, and the other one's like way up in Quetzal. And so what I do, like, when I TV train, if you see on screen right now, I've got 5 Tims in my party that need special attack, and then I've still got 2 in my box that need special attack because like I don't know, everybody asks me to TV train. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll get to it eventually. I'll get to it eventually. I'll get to it. And
Eventually being the operative word there.
yeah,
Oh, it takes me 6 hours to train 8 Tims.
yeah,
7 weeks
exactly.
later,
So I have to keep going to the
7 weeks later.
hold on, let me go to the temporium. No, I'm not going to go to the temporium because people can't see it, but I still have the 2 I have 2 crystals of yours, Gaijin, to train. I have like one more Tim of mine, I don't remember what it is, that needs special attack in the box, and then all the 5 that I have now, and I already finished one thing and deposited it earlier. And so, like, all of that, I'd have to keep running back and forth. Well, not back and forth, but I'd have to stop TV training to go to, like, Tim stations. And that cuts into the time, and I don't like doing that. So I get this all done here, and then I'll go down to Saipat spot, and then to the Turquoisa Temporium, and then do it all there, and then I'll get all these Tims back to people. But yeah, with that said, that's the Sci Park week. Of the one thing we didn't. Oh, I don't want to just talk over you, Tsubaki. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Sci Park before we jump to the lodge.
Yeah, I did some side park at some point before Kiziwa, and then when you're like doing 20, 30, 40 hours on the Luma and you don't get it, it feels so amazing that I never come to Scam Park again. I
It's
mean,
a,
Side Park.
it's a once in a lifetime experience.
Ah, yeah, sure. Blank was a whole night with me once to find the village, but we never found it. But still, thank you,
No.
Blank. It was a cool night.
And the last thing we for the weekly reset, there is the toxic Koish at the Naru Lodge this week. So everybody's 5 out of 5 that you the where you have to match all of the visual traits of the Koish is randomly generated for each player. So whatever your 5 out of 5 is personal to you. But if you want to go fishing at the lodge this week, 100% of the time you will fish up toxic Koish. Which,
Just have to say, I think that the Toxic Koish has the best hairstyle of them all. It
yeah,
looks like a super sweet hairstyle.
It's-
I think it's got to be like one of the best looking Koish.
it's got the little floofy floof thing. I love
Yeah.
it.
It's like a kind of like a pompadour. Not really though, but kind of.
What was the who's the guy from Yu Yu Hakusho that rocked a pompadour?
Kirishima.
Yeah. And it was like a foot and a half long. It's so massive.
Well, yeah, that's how people know you're a badass thug. The longer it is, the harder you hit, right?
All right, let's jump to the next piece of news. What is it? Oh, we have got music. Rather, not music. We were teased music. The Temtem official, yeah, Temtem official Twitter tweeted out a tweet, or retweeted Damian Sanchez's tweet, who is, I think, the lead audio director for Temtem, and he is working on the sound, or rather, I guess, the ambient music for Sipanku, and tweeted out a picture of some of the drums and cymbals that he is using, and yeah, it's just super duper exciting to see this tweet, and that we might get another track soon.
I'm really excited because like the music in this game it's hands down just like every little bit of it so good, so
Yep.
good. Although I will admit, I do like. I know you have to like. The only thing I don't like is I just wish you could have like constant ambient noise, like music or whatever, for the area you're in, versus always having the encounter noise and the battle music every time. Because if you're Luma hunting or your radars or whatever, it just very repetitive.
Okay, let's embarrass ourselves. So, for everybody listening right now, I have the pictures of the instruments that he's using on
Oh.
screen, and I'm not reading the descriptions about them. Do you, either of you know the names of these types of drums or like what they are? I know there's like this Japanese
They're not taiko drums, are they?
I That's somebody said that in the comments. These remind me. There's this Japanese drumming group my father tried to get me to go see, and
Yeah, they're huge.
yeah, I cannot forget I cannot remember their names, but I don't know, just like the heavy wooden sticks of these wooden drumsticks of this remind me of that. But yeah, so in the tweet, let's see, it says, "Are these taiko drums?" And Damian Sanchez responds, "Well, this is a Chinese variant. Definitely more easy to fit in the studio, but it will serve as taiko." And yes to the rest of your reply. All right, all right. Look at Gaijin with this musical knowledge.
Yep. I had no clue
Boom.
except maybe it's a silver plate, an old one on the left side.
All right, let's jump to the next piece of news. Oh man, I forgot to tell you guys about this at the start. So we had two fixing patches. I went through and pulled out the things that I thought were important out of the bug fixing patches. If there's anything you guys want to discuss, feel free to pull it up and just let me know. But in the notes document, I got the two things that I felt were pretty important. So this past week and week before that, with these big patches that were implemented into the game, it has introduced a host of other features that need fixing. And we got two pretty crucial bug fixing patches to the game that just updated and fixed so many things. And then out of these bug fixing patches, we got a little couple interesting snippets. So we're not going to go through every single thing that was fixed. Again, if you guys think there's anything that's important, just pull it out. But things that I felt were really, really cool that got added in 0.6.15, we got a report a player feature, which I thought that was a nice feature to the game, just because if you want to report anybody, you have to go to the official forums and they have threads where hundreds of people have posted, and then you have to make your posts and explain why they should be reported. And it's just nice now that all of that's in game.
Have you tried the report function at all?
I haven't used it.
I'm going to report you real quick and see what happens.
Wait, don't report me. Report my alt, Deodos.
No, sorry, Deodori, it is.
Well, if I get banned, Gaijin, if I get banned, your team's getting banned with me. And please know you have a perfect.
Just provide this video to Suki, and you'll be fine. We've
Perfect.
got the bond. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
No worry, Gaijin is gonna sponsorize you a whole new competitive team with his
It's
own
true.
project.
Oh man, I sold my crystal to Shadows for a bunch of Lumas and Pansuns. This is the first time I've ever had more than 100,000 Pansuns. I'm sitting on 647. I feel like a third of Tsubaki.
Gaijin,
No.
I just want you to know,
Close.
between the things that you gave me, this team is probably worth like 400 to 500,000 Pansuns.
Jesus.
Like, you've got a perfect Nagai's here and a two perfect crystals. So
Yeah, but most of the stuff that I gave you was not for me. I just wanted you to build a team out of what I gave you.
yeah.
But no, I'm really curious how much you sold your crystal. I mean, how many Lumas? Because it's such a rare Luma. I mean, was the radar last
but
year?
with the radars, the prices have it hurt the prices a lot. But I got a decent amount of Lumas for it as well. Plus, I sold it to a friend, so I wasn't gonna price gouge. I don't really need money. I'm just gonna use it to buy Lumas for people, or buy competitive Tems for people, or use it for like a prize for, I don't know, maybe some tournaments coming up or something.
You're a kind guy. I'm not
Yeah,
but
I
let's be
was.
Oh.
honest. Oh,
Go ahead, Tsubaki.
I think we all like the Raiders because, yeah, of course, it's more easier to get Lumas. But let's be honest, it killed the market. It honestly killed the market.
It definitely hurt the market. And I mean, at least they added something else though, because the egg training courses I think are going to be the new currency.
Oh my
So
gosh,
like,
those things are so
I think,
expensive and rare.
At
yeah,
the
I
moment,
think.
yeah, but on the long term, I suppose it will calm down, of course. But yeah, I understand what
I
you mean.
don't
And you
know
need
though.
to get
I still feel like they're going to be really rare because finding the 5-5 is like a 1 in 1,000 chance, and a lot of people aren't super interested in fishing.
I
Yeah,
understand.
keep in mind, Lumas are going to get added to the game quicker than egg training courses are, because anybody can get an infinite amount of, an infinite, I say in quotation marks, amount of Lumas a week, but you can only get one egg training course a week from your weekly. And so, like I had a week where I caught 2 Lumas and I got an egg training course from my weekly, and it wasn't an egg training course that either of those Lumas had. So it's just like there's always going to be demand for those courses if you're trying to make, perfect Lumas.
Yeah, the only
Exactly.
ETC I got, and I was so hyped when I saw ETC and then Ice Cube. Okay.
All right, speaking of Ice Cube, let's jump back into this patch. Droply got Water Jet added to their egg technique list. Gario is a Tim that is on the that is has a very interesting typing and an interesting trait, but is not very good because it lacks like any good turn one options. Water Jet is an amazing 2-hold move. I'm wondering, Tsubaki and Gaijin, if you think this is going to help Gario any? Like, if Gario becomes just like more of that kind of mid-game threat of just swapping it into something, letting it get a hold, and then that second hold, when Earthbreaker or Water Jet online, like if it's a terrifying monster, or if Gario's just still not going to see any play at all.
At the moment, I really don't think he will see a lot of light in the meta. Maybe Sipanku will change that a bit because of his Earth typing too. But at the moment, yeah, I really don't see how he could really shine. I mean, I would be happy to face it with my salad, but no.
4x. Yeah, I feel really bad about this too because I sold I Gario was the first Kisawa attempt that I bought, and I was like, oh wow, it looks so cool. I can't wait to try out things with it. And I tried it on like 3 different team comps, and I was like, oh wow, Gario's not good.
Oh
and
man,
I
that's really good because when Kisiwa came up, I saw Garyu too, and I saw the bamboozle trait. First turn directly bamboozle. I was like, oh man, that's gonna be amazing for PvP. And then you see stats and moves. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
never.
Yeah,
exactly.
geez. Gary will never be good if you guys come at it with that attitude. God, you guys are such a
Oh,
bunch of negative Nellies over here.
Well, I took
I'm sorry, I tested it.
I took and sold my Gario like pretty cheap, but not like I didn't give it away. I sold it for about 25,000 Pansuns the week before this balance patch came out, and it was a perfect Gario. It had all 7 perfect stats, and it was TV train. And I told the person I shaved off. I said it was worth 25,000, and I shaved off 3,000 Pansuns and sold it for 22 because I was like, you'll have to redo some of the stats because Gario's so niche that you have to build it specifically for what you want for your team. And so my build probably wouldn't work for whatever they wanted it for. And I was like, yeah, I sold Gario for 22,000. That's like a good going rate. And then this like literally the next week comes and Droply gets Water Jet added as an egg technique, and I'm like, well, that Gario's even more useless than it was before. And I haven't messaged the person, but it's kind of just I don't know, feels bad. JPEG. Um,
If he would get a first turn move, he could really raise from nothing to superstar. It's like Oshiara actually. Just give Oshiara water cannon, you will see it in every team.
Yeah, I agree. Just give Gyarados something that isn't double edge. It doesn't even have neutral stab. All right, let's jump to the next patch, and this patch had one interesting change in it too. Oh, so then we got patch 0.6.16, and to anybody that says Krima doesn't listen to us, I think this is probably the trolly troll yaw face, where it's yaw is always watching. From community feedback, Krima has decided to make 5% radars of spawn at half, or spawn at twice the speed they were spawning before, or half the speed. So before it used to take 2 to 4 minutes for each individual spawn of a 5% radar. That has now been cut in half, so we can assume that's going to be 1 to 2 minutes every time it will spawn. So these radars, you can now go through them twice as fast as you were going through them before.
5 and 10%, not just 5.
Ooh, I didn't see that. 5 and 10%.
It
Okay.
says rare radars. It doesn't say, just 5%. So it is 5 and 10%. Can confirm. I was doing Nesla last night and they were spawning really quickly until I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy talking to shadows, and then I accidentally broke my radar at 278 or something
I'm
like that, and
telling.
I
Feels
felt
bad.
real bad.
Yeah. So yeah, 5% radar is half the speed. And to compensate for this, they have added radars to loot pools. So now there's the common, uncommon, and rare radars, and the rare ones you'll get less often. That said, I mean, I think we're all in agreement on this. How do you guys feel about this?
About the radars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they're making the radars rarer, for first of all, which they should be, the 5% radars should be rarer. I mean, they're 5% Temtem. It makes sense. But if you have a radar, while I personally did not have a problem with the time it took for them to spawn and finish, I do understand that not everybody wants to take that amount of time. So I do not have an issue with it. I didn't have an issue beforehand, but I think this does improve it
Yeah.
because either way, you're going through 400 to get the Temtem. Like, it doesn't matter how fast they spawn, it could be one every second. Like, it's still 400. It caps out, it breaks.
Yeah, I was really happy with this change. I got a Kinu radar on my alt last week at the last day of before the reset, and I was able to get like 40 Kinu encounters before I went to sleep. And this week I don't remember what I got. I don't think I got a 5% this week, but it that's kind of nice because like I've gotten a 5% each week that I've done it. And so now like seeing the rates readjusted and stuff, it's nice to just like, okay, I'm just gonna get some radars that are gonna go real quick. If there's any I'm interested in, I can tackle them, and if I'm not interested in them, I don't have to tackle them. And then if I get a 5%er, I don't have to spend 30 hours doing it. So I think this is a win-win-win. And I wouldn't even be mad if they toned it down a little bit more and made, the chance to get like a 5% radar like even rarer, and made, radar 5% radars go quicker still. But yeah, I like the change. Good change. And let's jump to the next piece of news. Was there anything out of the patches that each of you wanted to discuss?
The performance fix,
Ooh, tell me more
because
about it.
the game, like, after the last patch they did, like, oh gosh, the performance of, like, the game has always ran buttery smooth. And it's not like I have a potato. Like, I've got a really good PC, and the game, it doesn't require a whole lot to play. I could run 2 copies of the game and only use like 40% of my resources. Um, but after like the last patch, not this newest one, they fixed it, but the last one, the performance, like, I was getting like frame dropping, and just it was not great. And they did add in the interface, they did add 4K resolution to the interface if you want to enable it as well. So the interface can look more crisp and sharp too, which is really nice.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the patch notes, but I'll be 100% honest, I didn't like wholly understand it. I've got the derp brain when it comes to UI, because I always look at the UI. I'm like, oh, the UI looks so pretty.
Yeah, it looks good, but now it can look even better.
Yeah, true. On the performance issues, though, I'm glad you brought that up because when we talk about Club Wars, we'll definitely address that again. I noticed I was having like a lot of trouble. I ran my alt through the storyline last week, before the second patch hit, and I was having a lot of trouble just with like RAM and CPU usage on my computer, and I had to close out of like a lot of things in order to do it, which it was I didn't know what was going on because I was like, man, I've streamed 2 accounts before and I didn't have like this many issues. But yeah, that's good to know that that's being addressed and looked at and consistently updated. All right, the next thing, in our notes, I don't have a picture for this, but this was sent to Gaijin added this to the notes. Do you want to address the Discord post you put in, Gaijin?
Yeah, sure. Are you gonna pull it up, or like
Uh
up the picture of it up, or?
no, just read it out loud because it's just
Okay.
text.
So we were sent an image. I believe it was from backer chat. Somebody said, if my memory is correct, there was talk of a tem that works like Ditto does in Pokemon, allowing us to breed much more easily with it. Is Koish that tem because it covers every type? And then Ya responded with, no, the Ditto like is another tem, which means we will be getting a Ditto like tem. This is news to me. I've never personally heard of this, but apparently there's going to be a Ditto like tem that makes breeding easier. I think that's pretty awesome. It's news to me, but I think it's super cool that there's going to be a tem that makes breeding easier. But what will it look like? That's what I really want to know. Please tell me it just looks like a mimic box, please.
Yeah, I think when we talk about Ditto Tims, I think about when Ditto got its hidden ability in Pokemon. It got the ability to Ditto, for anyone who might not be familiar with this, and I don't know why you wouldn't be. Ditto's signature move is Transform in Pokemon, where it takes on the traits and appearance of the other Tim, or not Tim, Pokemon, and can use their moves. And the drawback to running Ditto on your team was that you always had to click Transform, so you're always one turn behind your opponent. But when Ditto got its hidden ability, which lets it transform instantly when you throw it on the field, there became a build of Ditto in the Pokemon scene where you ran like a very high speed Ditto with a special item that increased the speed of Ditto. And so what would happen is, let's say you had a very offensive glass cannon you were versing. You would throw out your Ditto against that Pokemon. It would take on their stats and appearances, and you were faster because yours was built purely for speed. And then you would try and kill them with your Ditto before they could attack you. And so that makes me think like Crema has always did so well taking inspiration from Pokemon and then innovating on it and making it their own and just adding such interesting dynamics to it. Like when I think of Trick Room in Pokemon compared to Deceit Aura and Temtem, it makes me really excited for like what this Temtem can be.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be really cool. Not just for its breeding ability. I mean, let's be real. Ditto is the number one dad in Temtem. So, like, or
I'm still really curious, yeah. Like Kennedy said, if he's gonna transform when you put him on the field, or is it a move you can choose who you wanna copy? Because if that's the case, and you can choose like your partner, your own Temtem partner, that could be amazing. I already see myself with double Cernif on the field, double
oh god.
push. Yeah, I would love that.
All right, time to push out a patch to nerf Tsubaki. If you guys could just make it so that only when Tsubaki's playing, that at least one of his moves is disabled every turn, a random one, that would be fantastic.
I feel like every time anywhere in the world somebody orders an extra large salad, Tsubaki Chan's eyes go wide. I'm just like, I'm ready for just making the salad even bigger.
Yep.
But yeah. Whatever options this adds to the game, happily excited and enthused. All right, and that's going to lead us into our final bit of news, which actually happened. Which actually happened just this morning on Twitter. And if I could stop copy and pasting and actually click the link, I'll pull it up on screen. One of the writers of the Temtem storyline, a employee by the name of Victor Ojuil. If I mispronounce that, please. Well, I did mispronounce that. If there's a better way you'd pronounce that, definitely type it as a comment and reply to the show, and I'll try my best in the future to correct that. But they tweeted, it's Monday morning, and I'm writing the main quest for Play Temtem. I need more coffee, so I'm going to pop downstairs for 10 minutes. Ask me anything. And a lot of people tweeted at Victor and were asking questions about Temtem and the storyline and, you know, what games Victor plays and like what they enjoy and stuff. And we got some really interesting information. If I was a great host, I would have went and pulled out individual things to talk about beforehand, but I kind of remember some of the cool things that were brought up, so I'll kind of do this live and you guys can see my thought process. If either of you are looking at this and you want to bring up something, feel free to. I asked three questions that got answered, and I'll get to those. But one that was interesting, Ty Mayer asks, will we ever be able to catch Shrine Tims like Xenorath, Platimus, etc.? There's been some confusion about that, as I think Yaw has said that they don't ever want third evolutions catchable. And Victor replied with, well, we do have shrines in Sipanku, which is very interesting because we've always known there's been one shrine in Sipanku that we were expecting. So shrines in Sipanku, if we get a double shrine island, that'd be kind of crazy. If there's like an electric and digital
what
shrine.
Do you mean a double shrine island? We have double shrines in this island in Amnesia, don't we?
No, we haven't got the shrine in Amnesia yet.
Sorry, Kisiwa, not Amnesia. Kisiwa has 2 shrines.
Wait, do we? I think we only have the Earth Shrine in Kisiwa.
No, we only have the Earth.
Oh.
He's right, we only have the Earth. The water is
Where the heck are Platimus then?
And Denise. And the caves.
Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Honestly, I've never been there. I just thought that when people were talking about the water shrine, that it was in Kisiwa. Boy, oh boy. Good thing I read, huh?
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting reveal. And there is one more like between the lines reveal that Victor said. And what was it? I'm scrolling through one more time to look. All right. Well, I don't remember what it is, but I'll jump to my few questions. So, here it is. It was in my questions. So there is a Dennis figure named Indera, and we have her comic book in game where we it's a figure of lore. Indera, she's kind of like I don't know, Jack Sparrow of Dennis Legends, and one day she just got bored at being so awesome and just sailed off to the edge of the middle sphere and away from all of the islands, and presumably to find new worlds, and everybody just assumes she's dead. I asked, will we ever see Indera in game? And Victor said, I hope so, perhaps one day, which to me says she's probably alive, and they just might not have plans for her. If she was a real character, you know, not like just Dennis Legends. The other thing that I asked is, who's your favorite villain and why? And Victor said, of the ones we've seen, Lady Lottie, which makes me think there's going to be more villains introduced that have even cooler storylines. there's a tragic side to her that gets a bit obscured by her faux Shakespearean affections. She's the last bit of a crumbling wall of the ancient regime, and she hasn't even realized so. And then I asked another question that couldn't be that Victor told me they'd have to kill me if they answered. So I didn't really want to die, so I just kind of let that one go. I guess
Bring
it's
it,
too
Victor.
spoiler. Oh, bring it. The question was, is there current or future plans for the Temtem story that involve the high above or down below? And they couldn't reveal that, unfortunately. So, but yeah, that was the AMA. I actually woke up after this happened, and I asked my questions 7 hours later. So if anybody follows the official Temtem Twitter and there was something you wanted to ask, maybe you can go and comment on here and Victor might reply. No guarantees, but yeah, super cool that Krima does things like this for our community. And always fun to like get a little insight into the development process. All right, with that, we can jump to the thing that we've all been waiting for, the community events and tournaments, and we can talk about Club Wars, which didn't happen this week. That was one of the main reasons we invited Tsubaki Chan on this week, was because we wanted to talk about his experience on Club Wars and what the epic finals would have been, and Enigmas in the finals versus PDX. But the Club Wars finals got delayed a week, so that the players could experiment with Koish, because Koish just got added to the game. And then after the delayed and everybody was getting ready to fight, we got another patch, and the patch introduced a lot of login issues, and a lot of people couldn't access the game. And it was like right before the weekend, so we didn't know if it was going to get fixed or not. So unfortunately, Club Wars got delayed one more week. So if you're listening to this episode as soon as I post it, the Club Wars finals haven't happened yet, and ideally we can cover those next episode. But that said, that didn't stop us from bringing on Tsubaki, and Tsubaki's competed in just about every week of Club Wars for Enigma. I think there was one week you didn't compete where I took your spot, Tsubaki, and I think you were just
Yeah,
like coaching us in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and otherwise, how have you felt about this season of Club Wars?
I really like it. I mean, Club Wars is, in my opinion, the best event in the whole game, for PvP lovers at least.
Yeah,
This league was actually like a roller coaster, because we never knew till the end if we would be qualified, because it was up and down. We had some issues, let's say it like that, of too many people talking on Discord too, trying to 10 head, but it's a bit too much. And at the end, we raised up and did really well and climbed to the finals. So really happy about that. But the fact it's like they organize it team tournaments, like the Genki Cup, the Nit Cup, but it's still not the same as Club Wars, because Club Wars you're really like a team, five heading all the time. The strategy of, do you let the player in, do you take him back? I just love everything about Club Wars. So yeah, and we had a lot of good clubs in this last league. Sadly, Plus Club left. That made some changes, but still an amazing league.
yeah, I already am so like I'm excited for the finals. Because I want to cheer on Enigma. I would volunteer to compete, but I didn't. I don't know. I didn't do too hot last time. I get bad tournament nerves. But on top of that, this season of Club Wars is already like inspiring other clubs. Like I saw in the Club Wars chat that Miller's and her friend of the show is going to be competing with her club next season in Club Wars, and like I hope Plus comes back with his club, and then we had Karth's club this time around too. Just like I want this to keep growing, and I just love it. It's like a festival for our
Isn't Rarity
community.
Club coming
Oh
into
yeah,
maybe?
and Asylum next
Yeah.
season.
Asylum, baby.
We
Quite a new bunch of clubs coming for the next league, and I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, just wait. I'm gonna be in Asylum. It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna get wrecked.
Wait,
Oh yeah.
Gaijin, don't join Asylum. Bring the Boo Crew. Bring the pain, Gaijin.
I know, but everybody
I'm
that's
kidding.
in my club currently that does competitive is in other clubs.
Ah,
So,
fair,
you
fair.
know, I mean, I could, but like, I don't know. I'd have to like get in to competitive and start streaming competitive, and then people know I'm doing competitive, and then people want to join the boot crew. So maybe, I mean, it's possible.
Ooh, it sounds like you just convinced yourself.
Yeah.
uh, but that said, we are trying to do the never before done, and not never before done because it's impossible, but never before done because it's only the second season. We are trying to be back to back Club Wars winners. I think Enigma has a fantastic shot at this. Like you said, Tsubaki Chan, we are wild. Like at times I feel like we are the like easily hands down without question the best competitive club in Temtem. And then at other times I'm just like, what the heck are we doing? Why does anybody respect us? And I don't know, we've been like on our game, especially like watching you and Huron and some other Enigma members compete in tournaments lately. I'm gonna get back into the swing of things. I haven't entered into a tournament in like 2 months, which no real excuse for it. So I'm gonna try and represent our club well. But do you, how are you feeling going into this week of Club Wars, like this coming week?
I mean, you said. I mean, I definitely think we are one of the big PvP clubs. But still, I mean, we're facing Paradox. There are a lot of players there that I respect a lot because they are amazing PvP players. SNR Plat above, I mean, really on a podium for me. He's definitely in top three players in my opinion.
That's
There's
washed up. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
there's still Vosi is an amazing player too.
Oh my
Alto is a good
gosh.
player. Shiro is an amazing player too, even if he's thinking is in another dimension for me. I always have a hard time to read him because we are just definitely different playstyles. I mean, they have a bunch of really good players, so this is for sure gonna be an exciting finals of high level, and I'm really hyped for it. It's been 2 weeks. I'm waiting for it, so please, no more postpone, and let's do it.
Yeah. And I just want to say, a lot of the players you mentioned, super respect to. A lot of those players are also competing in the academy as professors. And it is just fantastic just watching them play each week. So yeah, ideally next time when we oh, go ahead.
I can already feel like the five players playing for PDX. I think it's gonna be Alto, Shiro, SNL Plat, Vossi, and Wobbles.
Yeah.
Just a feeling.
Uh, well, getting or moving on from there. Hopefully next week we'll have Club Wars news we can share with everybody. Nidrasil Cup happened this past weekend as of the time of this recording, and the finals are yet to be determined. An issue with the finals. And one of those players you mentioned, Wobbles, was on the team that had an issue. So Plus OP ran the Nidrasil Cup. It was a 3v3, three players versus three other players in a semi Club Wars style team fight team. But instead of like the way Club Wars work is one side says, okay, this player is going to compete, and then the other side gets to decide what player they want to compete. The way that this tournament worked, you had your A, B, and C player, and you had to win the best 2 out of 3 in your matches. But you got to choose out of like once seeing who the other team was, you could pit your A player against their A player, your B player against their B player, or your C player against their C player. And whatever choices you made, you had to win 2 out of the 3 games you played. Um, Unfortunately, the finals didn't get played. It came down to Arkham Knight, Wobbles, and Argisosceles versus Zuxo, Mr. Rishi, and I forgot the third player. And the
God,
tournament ended
God.
up. Oh, go ahead.
It was God too.
Oh God, yeah, God 2 or God of Despair.
I mean, it was God and like two
Oh,
Roman letters,
okay.
but
Yeah, God too. Yeah, and so what happened is they got to game 5 in the finals. The finals were the best of 5, and the tournament had taken so long that Dibs on Momo had to go like for real life stuff. And so the final game, because it's 2-2 for both of these teams, has been rescheduled. So ideally, we'll have the news of who wins that tournament. Tsubaki, you competed in this tournament. What was your feelings on it?
so I really love the principle of each team has to bring different themes. I think that's unique, original, and makes a lot of fun preparing new teams that
Oh,
could
do you
be.
want to explain that for everybody? Because I didn't even explain the team building.
Okay, so from Plus rules, it's a 3v3, but each team needed to have different themes. You can't have Kinu in like every team. It's impossible. So you really need to talk with your mates and try to build teams that can be versatile without taking the themes of your mates. So just that, amazing plus. That was amazing. The only little thing that I could say about it is like ABC. It's good for the Swiss. I like it. But I think after the Swiss, you need to remove the ABC thing, because then if you play again against someone you already faced in the Swiss, it's the same against the same one again. I think there you could more go like into a club war system where you choose who goes, and still doing the two wins. If you understand what I mean with my super English. Um,
I'm
but
following.
otherwise, yeah, I love it. I love all those events like this one and the Genki Cup.
All right. Gaijin, do you want to say anything on this before? Because I know you're planning. Weren't you planning a tournament you were sponsoring for
Koish
Plus?
Cup.
Koish Cup. Yeah. I don't know
I
if you
don't
want
know
to
when
speak
it's
in on
happening.
it.
I don't know. Plus, and I haven't talked too much about it. I mean, we talked about it happening. Plus is the competition planner. I don't know if there should be any rules or anything like that or whatnot. But Koish Cup is eventually going to happen. I don't know when, but um, Plus seemed to be interested in it. The community at the time when we were talking about it on stream seemed to be interested in it. So Koish Cup,
Koish Cup.
I guess.
Koish
Is
Cup.
it a
Hoo ha ha.
Is it a team tournament again?
I'm not sure what I don't know. It's gonna be like I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Just
I didn't want to put you on the spot, Gaijin. I didn't know a lot about it. I just remember hearing it
it's
mentioned.
okay. I don't
So,
know a lot about it either.
all right. Speaking
Only.
of, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Tsubaki.
No, sorry, I was reading the chat. Koish Cup,
Ah,
only Koish team. Let's go.
Yep, only Koish, baby, just Koish.
oh, that would be super
Nothing
awesome.
but the Koish.
But that would be a heck of an expensive team to build, though, too. Uh,
Yeah, but like a lot of competitive players don't already have money or aren't already testing Koish. Like,
fair.
people are obviously testing Koish as it is. Like they
Definitely.
have them, and they all have breeders that they get deals from, I'm sure, or whatever. But you know,
Yeah. Speaking of things on the horizon, this week, again, as the time of this recording, November 16th, the Academy, the PvP league that I run for newer players, will be starting, well, not starting back up. I took a break from real life stuff of running games, and I'm doing it all solo. So this week, I finally have the stamina and time again to start administrating over matches. So the Academy will be starting up and wrapping up its season 1 this coming week and the next few weeks. So definitely tune in. I run that on my channel currently, but I'm going to be running it on a different channel that we'll talk about a little bit later. All right, let's jump into our listener question, then we can get into our main topic, and then we can get out of here for the night.
our
Our
main topic, which is Tsubaki.
yeah. Our listener question for we have a listener question today. It was sent in to us by technically Hugh X, and thank you for writing into the show. If you ever want to ask anything on the show, or talk about get our opinion or talk about or share anything, write into the show at timtalk. The email you can email is temtalkshow@gmail.com. And that's spelled TEMTALKSHOW kshow@gmail.com. My brain farted for a second of remembering how to spell talk. All right. Technically, QX writes. Oh, Gaijin, I've been talking for a while. Do you want to read this and start out answering it, or do you just want me to?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
go
I know.
for
I can go for it.
Let's
Now
go
that
with the
now
sexy
that
voice.
it's non-competitive stuff, and I can actually read this and understand what's happening. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know what the question is. Howdy, Temtalk. Technically QX here. I noticed that all the cosmetic shops had fixed stock, so I was thinking about a weekly cosmetic shop in game with rotating stock, and was wondering if you all had any opinions as to whether or not this was a good idea and what effect it might have on the economy. My brain is saying that it would be used for things like cosmetic design contests, like you've mentioned before on the show, and it would also be good to rotate in dyes and such that were only during certain free time weeks. But does the Wish You Well do this instead? Are there better options for this? Thank you for your time. QX. My personal opinion is I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think we need more like cosmetics, and I really do think that we need to add in a way for fan created content. I think that that's a really cool idea. I think that there's tons of people that would utilize that. Um, so like giving just like here's the template for the clothing, go at it. Like and then they obviously would review and check and see what they like and put it in. But I don't know what kind of effect it would have on the economy. Like if it's stuff that would eventually rotate it back in around, I think it would be okay. But if it was like limited time, like, hey, it's something in this week, get it now. That could be a problem for the economy, but also maybe not. I don't really know because I've never played the market. I have no idea how economies in games work. Uh, but
I'm gonna
it'd
jump
be
in.
interesting.
I'm gonna jump in right there and say I agree with you. I think it's a really good idea, and I'll take it a step further. And I would say I think it would be
One shirt for everybody with swappable designs.
No, I'll say like it would be a really cool idea if you could only spend Wish You Well coins there, since there's kind of a limited amount of them you can earn each week, and tradable, and it would kind of like get a set value for buying Wish You Well coins. Because I've been watching their prices, and their prices have been going up and down because nobody like really knows what they're worth, with the loot table stuff. So it'd be really cool if just like, oh, this week, this item's in here, and it's like the Wish You Well price of the coins goes up, and it would be like really fun for investment of like buying Wish You Well coins when they're low and selling them like in weeks when they're high if there's like a shop like that. So I like this idea, and I would love to see something like this in game, and I think this could work really well hand in hand with the Wish You Well system.
Yeah, but I think they definitely need to be like something that is not just limited edition, because I think limited edition stuff probably would not be great. But if it's frequently rotated in stuff, yeah.
Of Tsubaki, anything you wanted to comment on this question before we move on?
It would have nothing to be. I mean, for the cosmetics, what I would love, of course, I talked about that on my stream too, is like on the leaderboard, PvP leaderboard, having like, of course, the top 100 something, but then the top 10 would have like exclusive skins.
A hat you can sell.
Yeah.
For your banners and stuff.
I mean, if I would have known that, I would have buy the Kickstarter from the start. But no, I mean, just
No.
really exclusive rewards that could be cosmetics, even for your Temtem. Why not? I mean, it could be an option, and yeah, just a nice reward for your try harding, and that could be an amazing fit too. And of course, yeah, I agreed with what you said earlier. That I mean, cosmetics is always nice.
Gaijin, you were saying something?
I don't remember what it was.
Fair. All right.
It wasn't important, so
QX, thank you so much for writing in, and let's jump into our main topic. All right, so tonight, we're gonna keep this super short. And then we'll
our main topic we're gonna keep super short.
Yeah. I mean, Our main
I
topic.
love how I'm sorry. I love how we do all this talking up to the main topic, and then every show the main topic is just like not the main topic. It's super short,
I mean,
like
do you
every show.
want to do like 30 minutes on this topic? Because we can.
No, I mean obviously we don't, but like I feel like if it's a main topic, we should probably start there
Okay.
and utilize that. I
Well,
mean, not
see,
obviously.
here,
I know we're working on making changes and stuff with the way Temtalk is, but it was just I just thought it was funny.
yeah. Here's the
It
thing:
was.
we can do that. Go ahead, Tsubaki.
No, I just think it was funny how you said it and how Gaijin just took that over.
Yeah. So the reins of the show have been handed over to us for a few weeks. There's definitely been some adjustment that it has taken Gaijin and I to kind of like land on our feet and how we work well, or not how we work well, but how we work with each other effectively and stuff. And so with that getting out of the way, there's some changes we want to implement to the show. There's some things we want to do. And so with that, we just want to enjoy and have fun doing the show. So Tim Talk's going to evolve a little bit, just so that it's more organic and more natural for Gaijin and I. And we're not trying to like imitate what the show was or, preserve what the show was and just let it grow to whatever it is and it becomes. So moving from there, the
Oh,
first.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Just before you go ahead, I want to say like a big thank you to both of you guys too, because you're doing a lot for the community, trying to always make Temtem alive and talking with everyone about how it goes for every step into Temtem. I think that's an amazing thing, and yeah, good job to both of you.
Oh, Tsubaki, you're
Absolutely.
gonna make me blush. Thank you.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Stop pulling words out of my mouth. Papa
Great.
Tsubaki patting us on the head.
Anything for the head pat. Anything for the head pat. Uh, but yeah, so we were saying we're going to be doing shorter shows. I don't know. The shows have kind of gotten like long and bloated, and there were sections of the shows that weren't fun for me to host. That if you've noticed this week, or you may not have noticed, I just completely cut out of the show, just because it wasn't fun, and we were trying to cover every single aspect of the community and dig for every single thing we possibly could and share that with every person. And like now we're just doing the important stuff for people. So the shows are going to get a little shorter. And moving from there are no more community highlights. If you notice, we didn't do that this week, and that's not to say we don't care about the community. It's just, I don't know, there's thousands of people, and there's Reddit, and there's the official forum and the Discord, and there's so much cool stuff that gets shared. It's really hard, and it's kind of a grind to go through and pull out everything and to do it fairly in a way that, it's not like, oh yeah, we're ignoring this person's art and we're putting this person on or something. It's like, well, if we put on this one, we got to do this and this and this and this and this. So we're not doing community highlights anymore. Instead, if there's something you shared with the community that you feel is a really cool contribution or is like a really cool piece of artwork, we'll still review artwork and everything, but email it into the show, and we're only going to cover community highlights that get sent to us. That way it just gives off a lot of time for Gaijin and I, that we don't have to go digging and collecting everything, where anything that gets emailed to us, it's probably going to be in the show notes.
Yeah.
Gaijin, do you want to
Like,
say anything on that?
basically, like we we would like to focus, more, I think, on the community that watches us and interacts with us, and if anybody has anything that they'd like to share with us and have us share, we're more than happy to. If you guys want to email in or message us on Twitter or whatever, just with something, by all means, do.
Yeah, same thing with
we
Discord.
love you guys, and we're always happy to share stuff and interact with you. So
Yeah, same thing with Discord. If you send it to me on Discord, like, you don't have to just email into, send it to me on Discord and it's like, hey Kennedy, this is a cool Temtem thing, I think it should be on the show. I'll probably be like, oh cool, thanks for sending this, I'll put it in the notes. Just makes our lives a lot easier. Finally, over the third hosting slot, Gaijin some big discussions about this, and we haven't exactly came to an agreement yet. So we're going to just be bringing in lots of guest hosts as often as possible until we come to an agreement on the third slot for Tim Talk. If there's anybody you really enjoy having on the show that we've had on, like, write in and ask us to bring them back, and we'll bring we're going to be bringing in guest hosts like crazy. So definitely let us know. And I'm constantly asking people. Shout out to Tsubaki coming on at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my God, it's 4 a.m.
I told Tsubaki the wrong time slot by accident.
He told me 9 p.m. I was like, okay, sure thing. And then he writes me at 3:30 a.m. Hey, you ready? What?
Oh
9 p.m.
no.
Gaijin's time.
Oh.
No, I mean, it's
Tsubaki,
fine.
I'm so sorry.
No worry. But if you want to have a big laugh and you're looking for someone, I saw G Dragon write that, and actually that could be funny. Is invite Tiki Book. He's like the meme Temtem community. So
I don't know.
Tsubaki.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know Tiki Book, but I am a big fan of this competitive player named Tsubaki 7. Real good at the game. And that said, the final bit of news, Gaijin, the channel. Do you want to announce that one?
Yeah, sure. So basically at this point, we are going to be moving to our own channel. It's twitch.tv/temtalkshow, same as the email. We're going to be just doing everything there. Just unifying across everything, and just we can really do our thing with it and run it however we want without having to worry about, making anything not quality or whatever. But
yeah, there's a
hype.
I'll speak for myself personally. I've really enjoyed our ride on the Temporium channel, and thankful for letting using their channel and stuff to do Tim Talk on. There's a certain expectation of professionalism that comes on the Temporium channel, and as long as I am the main host of Tim Talk, I'm not a professional person. I am silly. I make a lot of jokes, and I'm not gonna lie. The most fun I have doing Tim Talk is when I'm a little bit or when I've had like a little bit of cider or wine right before the show. So moving to our own channel just gives us a little bit of freedom to just be more of ourselves. That said, if you're listening to the show on a podcasting app, or you're watching after the fact on YouTube, it's still going to be uploaded in all the same places. So you are not going to have to worry about that. And for everybody who has stuck with us, thank you for your patience. When I was given the reins of the show, Vonlin made a big document explaining how to do everything and upload everything. And I skimmed it, and the way he described how to rip the audio and get it for the feed just didn't work for me. And I was just like, what's wrong? I have to like sit down one night and figure out what's going on with this. And I did it like 4 times and it wasn't working. And I read the whole thing in depth, and I realized that my broadcaster records videos in a different format than his, and I couldn't do it that way. So that's why there was no audio in the podcast feed. And I worked out a way that's easier for me to do it, and now I can start uploading audio. So if you notice this week, you got like 3 Tim Talk episodes out of the blue because I finally figured out how to do that. So it's gonna be a little bit smoother in the future.
Yeah, but seriously, everybody who listens outside of Twitch, we're sorry. We do love you. It was a big transition with very little notice, so it was kind of a scramble to get things going. But we appreciate you bearing with us. We're still here. We're still doing it. Just technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Gaijin. Gaijin shared a post with me from the community manager, Suki, and she asked where Tim Talk was, and it just warmed my heart so much. It's like, I mean, I know Krima pays loose attention to the show, but it was just like they actually care that we've been dragging our feet. It makes
It
me
was
feel
super
so
adorable.
happy. Yeah.
It was super
So
adorable.
we're gonna be more on it in the future, and ideally, the show's gonna improve and grow. With that, I mean, that's pretty much all the news we have for the show right now. Um, thank you, Tsubaki, for coming on. And I'll put this open invitation because we did the same thing for Rarzi. Next week, if Club Wars happens and there's something really pressing or really cool you want to talk about, definitely like pop us a message, Tsubaki, and you're always welcome back. Like if you want to be on the
Okay.
show, like you are welcome back on. Um,
Sure, my pleasure.
Before we go to turn 30, how about we do a little bit of plugs of where the people can find us and what we're doing this coming week, and then we can go to our turn 30 and wrap this shindig up. I'll be polite and I'll open the floor to Tsubaki first. Tsubaki, do you have any big plans this week for your streams, and where can the people find you?
So I'm nearly streaming every day at the moment, except the weekends, because most of the time there are tournaments and things like that. You can find me on Tsubaki Temtem. Yeah, mainly streaming competitive. So if you are interested in that, feel free to join. I'm doing actually nearly every stream giveaways too for newer players that could need competitive TAMs and perfect SVs. So sure, feel free to join. Always a pleasure. And yeah.
Yeah, and I will say it's I do a lot of like learning streams myself, and watching Tsubaki Chan is such a great learning experience if anybody like wants to. I watched you last night or the night before, and you fought Rishi on ladder, and you lost the game in like 3 turns. I was like, Tsubaki's done, game's over. And then I was like, there's no way he gets out of this. And I watched every move you made, and I was like, how did he get out of that as you won like the final turn with
Every
like
move you
5%?
make,
So it's like
every
super
step you
interesting,
take,
like
I'll be
watching your thought
watching
process.
you.
Yeah.
I tried to explain my mind process at the same time. But thank you, really appreciate it. Yeah, I thought it was lost too, because first turn directly losing your Nagais without doing any damage to the enemy. You're like, not a good
Oh, you know
start.
what game I'm talking about then. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
god, that's not.
Gaijin, where do you have any big plans this week, and where can the people find you?
I mean, I'll be streaming Temtem this week. I might stream some other stuff, but I've been streaming a lot of Temtem again. It's nice. Like, I don't know, the updates refreshed me a little bit, but and I'm planning on getting into competitive as soon as Kennedy's done with my
Oh,
competitive team.
look at my screen. Look at my screen. I'm training them right now.
Oh, look at that. Look at it
Yeah.
go. But yeah, so I'll be doing a lot of Temtem. Y'all can find me Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever. Basically, it's Gaijinbu. GAIJINBUU. Yeah, that's where.
Alrighty. And like I said earlier, I'm bringing back the Academy this week on my stream. So I live stream on Twitch, Presby Kennedy. But also, since we just started that Temtalk Show channel, I'm going to ideally get that login info from Gaijin later. And this week and next week, I'll be live streaming on there just so we can get it like to affiliate and other things. So if you want to see some fun, probably educational content, I'll be on Tim Talk Show on Twitch TV. If you listen to this podcast anywhere and everywhere you listen to it, please give it a like or a comment or a rating. I don't look at the podcast statistics, but I'm told that helps out, and I'd appreciate you helping out the show. All right. So before we finish up, Tsubaki, we told you had the turn 30 if you wanted to do it. Did you think of anything you wanted to share with everyone?
Except how amazing Genshin is, and you should never put some money into that game because you can do it free to play.
Shut it, Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you, Gaijin. I mean, I'm not free to play, but still, you can do it. I think the game is amazing. The open world is really nice. If you didn't try it, because I know a lot of the Temtem community is on it at the moment, you should definitely give it a go. You can even play it on your phone when you're at work or something, and you don't can. I
Okay.
mean, and you can farm. So yeah.
I have a question for both of you because both of you are content creators and streamers who like heavily like love Genshin Impact. Have you guys signed up for the content creator program they have?
Lol.
Of if you like
Yeah, but they want you to have 100 concurrent viewers, like 100 average viewers to sign up for
oh,
it.
I
Like
thought
they drastically changed how it was. So there are people that don't have 100 average viewers in it now, but they changed it up so that it does require that. I did fill out the thing for it, but I yeah, I doubt that I'll get chosen for it because you have to stream, 20 hours a week minimum of it, and then you have to also have 100 average viewers, which, let's be real, that's harder than a partner. Like,
Hard. I thought about it too, but yeah, like when I gonna work again, I will just not have the time to do 20 hours a week, and not even talking about the 100 viewers. I mean,
mhm.
I peak at 60, 70 when I'm doing PvP, and I'm already happy. And thanks all for the support, by the way. But yeah, I don't feel like I can do that on Genshin, so
I hit
nope.
200 the other week and I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm at 200 followers. I can take
Ooh.
and apply to be a partner for Genshin Impact cuz I stream this a little bit." But now knowing the what you just said of how they updated, I don't even qualify anymore. So, yeah.
No.
I was like super excited when they implemented that. I was like, "Oh man, I'm actually not very far away from this. This will be cool." But
Oh.
yeah, made well, I guess not makes me sad, but makes me kind of shrug of like, "Well, guess I won't be going hard in the paint for Genshin."
I
Um
am 2 followers away from 1,000 followers.
oh, I'm going to make some bots and go follow you right now,
Don't
Gaijin.
you fucking dare. I mean,
I'm not editing that
pardon
out.
me.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make some giveaway, a party thing when you hit the 1K?
Yeah, I've got a Luma Gialis and a bunch of Lumas to give away once I hit 1,000. So,
Did you hear that, guys? Go to it, give him
Hey.
a follow, and then you
of
maybe
course, anybody who's following me up to the 1,000th follower is entered into the Luma Gialis and a couple of the others. So I usually give away between 3 and 5 copies of Temtem plus, um, a Luma. The Lumigialis and somewhere between 3 and 5 copies. It depends on how much money I feel like I have at the time. Um,
Let's keep this
but
discussion rolling in the post show. I'm going to end the recording right here and then we'll tackle the post show. All right, everybody. That's where, if you're listening to the podcast, that's where this is going, or where it's going to be over. If you ever want to listen live, we stream on Monday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and you are always welcome to come and hang out with us. Have a great day, and we are going to peace out of here.